I'm not much of a reader, but I really wanted to change that, so I decided to start with books that movies I really enjoy are based off of. I decided to start with The Ritual by Adam Nevill. This one is such a good read. It is definitely better than the movie. I really love The Ritual. That's on Netflix. It's only about an hour and a half long. If you haven't checked it out, you really need to. It has such an amazing creature design, but I wanted to see where that creature design came from, and damn, the way the book describes this creature is just so unsettling. But just like the movie, this book is about four friends, Hutch, Luke, Dom, and Phil, and they're hiking through Sweden, right where Sweden and Norway come together, and after Dom hurts his knee pretty badly, they decide to take a shortcut that is, like a straight line through the woods back to the lodge where they're staying, and that ends up not being a good idea whatsoever. As Dom says, if the shortcut was an actual shortcut, it would just be called a route, and they prove that in this. There is something in those trees with them that is just as ancient as the forest itself. This was such a good read. The way Adam Nevill describes the forest and just the weather and just how daunting it is for these city boys to be in nature like this is quite amazing. It really makes you feel for them, just how wet and tired and uncomfortable they are. Honestly, I really loved how the book was from Luke's perspective, from the entire thing. Luke is struggling with some mental health issues, some issues with his friends and just his life, and feeling like a disappointment, and it was just very interesting to see how that played into the story itself, because that's one thing the movie really doesn't go into that much. And honestly, it hit pretty close to home. If you're in your 30s and you're struggling with, kind of feeling like you're flailing through life, it is gonna really hit close to home with what Luke is feeling and how he just has to find the strength inside of him, because this book turns into quite the fight for survival. That is one of the biggest differences between the book and the movie for me, is how much of a fight is at the end. I really don't want to give too much away, but overall, I really did enjoy this book. I'm so glad that I read it. I honestly went and rewatched the movie afterwards because I was just so enthralled by the book. The way the description of the creature and just how the forest is described as being so just ominous and scary just really hooked me in. I honestly wish I hadn't seen the movie before so that I could have built a better picture of the forest and the creature and those houses and everything in my mind, because not gonna lie, I was kind of picturing the things from the movie. But overall, if you enjoy the movie, you definitely need to read this one. It is such a good read. It is on Audible if you're not much into reading and you'd rather just listen to it, but if you have read it, let me know what you think. I'd love to talk about it.